Tonight's late IHP show starts a little earlier with your favorite 5D mystic, Enlightenment functional adult, lovely Maria here from my community. Our whole 3-year-old hearts and our human love narrative helps to protect the future and all life. What's all life? Every single thing that we can do. Obviously, we all have different roles. We all have different jobs, but what we all have in common is a whole 3-year-old heart, which means you have integration of the brain and restorative embodied self. So you don't have trauma that you need to heal, or basically a trust break that you project at humanity. I get to learn a lot from my trauma-informed courses, and some of them involve mind, brain, and relationships from lovely Daniel Siegel on Mindsight Institute. Others are trauma basic courses from Somatopia. Awakened Embodied Certificate, that's really good, and I have a lot more that I could list, but I'm not going to. NICABM is one of them that I have 2 basic but intense trauma courses, and I recently learned something that I had already heard before, but that really struck a chord, and in a way that is something that the 5D mystic will already know how to do, which is how to be a safe haven and secure base for another. So when you're able to look in the eyes, I'm looking at my notes too, and with a nervous system that is activated in your ventral vagal nervous system state, the social engagement, you don't need yoga for it, or to be spiritual or spirituality, any of that. I did it all by my lonely old self. No, not by myself. I learned first how to safely self-regulate and co-regulate from my first year of life. So ergo, whole 3-year-old heart. I also maintain what is called a differentiated self. What does that mean? When my mother and I didn't agree on my thoughts and feelings, I did not get defective or shame and no trust breaks. So I did not stop to be my little 3-year-old self. You can ask my mother all about it. So use me as an example, because obviously if I'm teaching, educating, talking, food for thought about how to be an infinite higher human consciousness potential being, I have to be able to have done it. And I'm also human, and I can explain it though thanks to my educational certificates and courses. Some don't have certificates. I don't want them. I don't need them because I'm living it. And I'm going to use our lovely Zen master story though from Sadhguru, because I know how much people who are mystics, if you're 5D, you're going to understand the story. If you're 4D, you're going to be a non-disciple. And if you're 4D or in separation consciousness, it means you think people suck and that you don't trust anyone. So that means there's still unresolved situations going on. You can't think beyond your trauma, your hurt, because you have a bias, which is called humans suck. Well, my bias is humans don't suck, but we're not perfect. So I know how to be a grown-up about it. It's called integration of the brain, knowing, yeah, of course I have preferences. All my implicit memory comes up and explicit memory, and anything that I lived. I'm 43. I got plenty of shit that I lived. All beautiful, by the way. What I have most of all, though, is a nervous system that navigates, thank you, Mother, the default mode network. Mine navigates a ventral vagal. So I don't do pseudo-aliveness. And I'm not seeking for bystanders to come behind me to rally up. And then for all of us to head on down to whoever, whatever theme hurt my heart. Because see, that's the point. My heart's a muscle. I can actually beat without being an ancient silverback who pulls, by the way, at people's heartstrings, because they all share the same pain points. So see, a teenager, I call them teenagers, a person with trauma. Let me go back to the studies that show people who have had trauma, trust breaks, and they don't take their trauma stuff seriously, and they have shame cycles, inner critic, outer critic, they feel defective. So there's a longing here, 0-1-year-old that doesn't know any better. In fact, there's a lot of people, 4D, they dissociate while they're doing readings, while they're talking, and they get pissy in their pants too, but in a way of vengeance. A suppressed anger comes out. So when you were an infant and then you're growing up and you felt powerless, so, a lot of people that I see rallying up in separation consciousness, and the ones especially that talk about spirituality and they don't know how to use love. Yes, that one gets me a little bit more, because while, a day-to-day person who doesn't have emotional body experiences, they'll come to me and say, you're a woo-woo pseudoscience lady and it's all bullshit. And I'll be like, you know what? Thank you so much for sharing your opinion. I'm proud that you were able to have the guts to share it. And I can tell you that I love my human love narrative, and I'm going to do a lot more in life than you will know. Maybe we'll do the same. Who knows? But what I know for sure, my body feels deeply. I don't know about yours, but I have magic in my ass and my head. And it's not with actual blinders, because I know that I don't know everything. You apparently don't know that you don't know everything. I'm going to say I'm more humble, and actually I have what's healthy self-worth rather than what other people do, which is projection and their adaptive child. And let's go and make statements about other people and what comes out of their mouth, and whether they do it eloquently or not. That's the beauty part of when you're actually smart, stable, mature, adaptive, rational, and teachable. But you're smart in the sense of, I'm not going to use my time there. I don't think it's going to be as effective. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave them to their ancient silverback times. That way they can have fun in their body, which is not navigating with their optimized human being version. So version, not virgin, but like a virgin. Okay, that's a song that has nothing to do with our, and it's not a channeled guidance for my mystics. Okay. So even though I guess I could go in that direction if I wanted to, but no, I don't want to. Okay, people seriously who have had trauma, if they're getting help, they get out of hypervigilance, they get out of survival mode, they get out of what is really hell in their body. If they're smart, they say, I want more, and I understand the psych education, which is my body doesn't want it because it's really scary to go back to that 0-1-year-old of me. The ones who want a story, they clown around with the 4D mystics, and in fact, AI, technology is evil, demons are coming to get us, the devil has won, hell is here, all of the scriptures here, everyone's following some type of conspiracy. Just go watch online. I keep tabs on my lovely separation consciousness people because we're all a big family. Difference is I do the human love narrative. So IHP community, we're busy with the big guns. They're not guns though, they're big hearts. There's a difference. So when we see dysregulation and dysfunction, we don't get in our pissy pants. We don't become blind with rage or with pity or with any other implicit bias that comes up, because we don't have what are called hot spots. We don't have a trigger. You can't push a button. There's no button. That's what it's called, to be a safe haven in your own body. I can self-regulate my nervous system. It's very straightforward. Not in my survival mode. No, I can regulate it in the social engagement, which is I'm not in any physical threat right now. I'm hearing words. You're hearing words. This is where I hear words all the time. It's like hearing air move. It's been since I was a little kid. That's all. And of course I hear you. Doesn't mean you changed my mind. That's exactly as I was saying. I was 3-year-old differentiated self, and I didn't get punched. So I was lucky. I got to speak my own heart. And I got to nurture, and I still get to nurture my well-being. And when I see people who actually have dysregulation and dysfunction, and they are people who other people judge and cast stones, and they want to use the name of Jesus, and they want to say that they stand for love, and they don't know Jesus walked with all. Apparently they didn't hear that well. No, they're too busy with the ancient silverbacks who are talking about the wrath, which is really somebody who was really scared by their own parents and their, like we can go all the way back. I mean, our ancestors were scared. We lived with animals in darkness. Can you imagine how scary? So yeah, our body has a lot of memory. It is very straightforward to hear the sciences, but a lot of people, they don't call themselves flat earthers, but I really think that they fit that box. And the ancient silverbacks just do a really great, what is it called? No, they don't do anything great. They share the same trust break. They rally them up, magic. And there you go. There's the lands of illusions. Oh, you got to see the 4D mystics all over that one. Again, AI, technology, demon, they're taking away our divinity. The volcanoes are erupting and the demons are coming out. There's people, they actually believe in this. This is why I'm a mystic integrating 5D stuff, not 4D, so that those who want to come on over here and actually protect the future, help the world. Doesn't mean we're going to go out with superhero capes. We don't have superpowers. We are humble, and we are just regular day-to-day people who actually know what it means to look at somebody, as I was saying, with the eyes of, you're human like me, and I just want you to be healthy, and I'm here not to judge you or cast a stone, and I won't shame you like you already felt from your 0, 1, 2, 3. No, because that will just break your heart even more than what is already broken. I'm going to look at you and say, you're alive, and I care. And you know what people do that actually have this level? They look back and they're like, wow, you see me. The saddest part, though, is that they don't take their dysfunction or dysregulation seriously, because there's not enough good psychologists or therapists out there, because we got the ancient silverbacks who don't believe in their own colleagues' sciences. And yet they're not flat earthers. Go check that one out. Yeah, they're telling people emotions are stupid. You're run by emotions. Your 3-year-old runs the show until you get a handle of it. So human love, come on over. We're very serious, though, about being love, nothing else. So be nice to each other and try to have compassion.